Oh, I've got a super tough wax removal on this one, guys. This was not, this was not an easy one by any stretch. So what you can see is a dry piece. Now, I first of all thought this was going to be a nice, simple wax removal. No kind of problem here. It looks kind of nice and soft. There's a little bit of a dent in the middle, and patient did say they've been using some cotton buds, but it's because patient's actually going through a couple of different health issues. They've been in and out of hospital. They couldn't get in to have it done, so they tried to do it themselves, in fairness to them. But what's happened here is we've got, the reason this is super tough, you can see underneath that grey, almost like a silver material, that is dry skin. So what we've got here is this plug, and then because the canal is so narrow, the dry skin's kind of, the epithelial migrations happen, but it's kind of wrapped around the front of that plug. And that's what we've got here, is we've got this really, really deep. So you can see, I lift up, and I think, yeah.
It looks like it's coming away nicely.
It's going to go, Taylor Green, it's going to go. But, no, as you can tell by the length of the video, there's no way in the surface is going to come out in the first minute.
We're nearly there.
We're nearly there. So I've got, this is the right hook in here as well. I do use another one of Neil's tools. I apologize, guys. You guys keep telling me what the name of the tools are. I know this is the right hook. I know the right Durette. There's another one we got, which is almost like I would call it a right pick.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to go with. That comes out a bit later on. It's not particularly effective on this, but it was a kind of a bit like a last choice tool of desperation, because it was getting to the point where I just didn't know where we were going to go with it from this point. So the reason I've written, sometimes with this particular toughness of wax, if we're really struggling, we'll get the patient back. But I knew the patient was due another stint in hospital. So I really, really wanted to get this out for them so they could heal well when they got to hospital. So there was a little bit of kind of added pressure that I had to try and get it out at this visit, if possible. So we can see it's dry as a bone here on this leading edge. But what I'm trying to do is, you can see that skin. I'm trying to detach the skin, and that skin wraps all the way around, full circle. So,
and then there's nothing you can do after time. You know, I know you get that added pressure of things like this when you know there's like another appointment or they're going somewhere else. But yeah, it's horrible, isn't it, knowing you have to do it when it's a very difficult one. You're like, oh.
And the shape of this wax is what makes it more difficult as well, because you've got this depressed center and you've got this ring of kind of thinner wax around the outside edge. But when I say it's rock solid, I try at one point to get the right hook into it, and you've got that angle that I could not get the right hook into it. It's that solid. So you can't even, there's no ridge for you to grip onto the puller, and the patient got a little bit flinchy at times because it is like a solid piece of wax surrounded by skin attached to the really sensitive bony portion of the ear canal. So not an easy one to get out.
No. Not the widest of ear canals either.
It's not. It's really, I really struggled. You can see how thin these edges are.
And it's that kind of, it's like loose at any time you try and touch. Yeah, I had one of these the other day.
And you've got almost like a taper. It's almost like sort of like a ramp on the front of the wax. So you can't get, you can see I'm trying to penetrate into it. I just want to get a grip on it, and I just can't get that grip. So I've decided we've got this almost like this. Imagine like a wave. This is what I always imagine this top bit. Just a wave as it just starts to break, and you get this kind of this curl over at the top. That's what we've got here. And sometimes you can, it's just enough thickness that you can grab that kind of curl and pull it forwards.
Roll it.
Roll it. But that is actually a curl of skin. And you can see beyond it that is not letting go. So I'm like, oh, there we go. So this is I'm going to go with right pick, because I thought, well, okay, I can't get beyond it. Perhaps I can just kind of poke the edge and get it down. But you can see how far back that skin goes. Every time I pull it, you will come out. But every time I try and get beyond it, I can't do it. It's just so much skin there. So forceps, this is going to make a massive difference. Now pulling this out with the forceps, I thought, oh, great. Look at that. There you go. See? Exactly the same reaction. You kind of think, oh, for goodness sake, now it's stuck. And you can see the indecision with the right hook there. I'm like, what?
Top, bottom.
Yeah. And look, as soon as I push it in, there you go. Patient was flinching, and as soon as you push it, it just settles back into its original position. Oh, tough one, Taylor Green. Tough one.
Yeah, that's not an easy one.
No. I was saying to the patient, look, there is a chance that I'm not going to be able to get this out today. You might just have to come back, and I do apologize. More stuff we can get out on first visit. He was like, look, I'm okay, because he was flinching a bit, but I think it was because when I said to him, like, oh, is it hurting? And he said, no, not at all. He says, just that I keep getting the volume increasing and then decreasing.
Right,
so it was more of a flinch when the increased volume, when the wax plug moved.
Yeah.
So I've got it to this outer edge. I'm going to try with the forceps again. I don't hold much hope with the forceps.
There's not much to grip onto, is it? It looks like there is, but it's such a small little...
Oh, this was a waste of time. This was
Pointless even putting this in the video.
There was a rose insert, and I was like, you can see, I'm like, where? Just what? Where am I going to go with this? And I was like,
I love them, but they're just a little bit too long. These ones, isn't they?
We could do with them just being, the length of the right hook.
Tiny little, yeah.
But yeah, that would be awesome. So I thought, okay, I'm going to aim for the skin because I've managed to lift it once. Sometimes you get a better grip on skin than you will a hard wax. So yeah. I'm kind of holding that skin. Another flinch there with the patient. I was really hoping I could pull this. I'd kind of hang on to it and it would just pull the whole thing forwards. But it's just kind of just taking that layer of skin off the outside edge. This is the right curette now going in.
That's solid, isn't it?
It is absolutely rock solid. I think this is why we leave ourselves little notes on the patients, so we can give you some information as well. And that's all they wrote on this one was super tough EUS ruffle. So it was obviously difficult. Okay, so right hook going back in now. I've turned it on his side. One or two things. Either this is going to pull, or it's just going to flop back down to where it was.
Oh,
I don't know.
I thought that was
going to go. What I did was lift it off because with the right hook, what I got to do is penetrate into the wax. So I lifted it off the canal, which sounds counterintuitive, but what you got to think of is if the skin is directly below the wax, you push through and you hit the skin, that's going to be really uncomfortable. Oh, there we go, Taylor Green. Oh, there we go. It's on its way. So it's nearly there now. I've managed to break a little bit off. So I did say to the patient, look, I managed to break some off. And it has repositioned. Now, it looks more difficult because it's completely wedged, but because it was so mobile before, sometimes having it completely wedged is actually a positive thing.
Yeah.
Oh, turbo wiggle. There we go.
Go on, son.
You will go. So it's, look how tough that skin is. This was, I talked about that crest of the wave. That's the word I was looking for, was the crest of the wave. So I was talking about the crest of the wave. This is the skin that's from that crest of the wave. Look how thick that skin is and just how tough it is as well.
Oh,
look at that.
Well, that should make it a little bit easier, a little bit more space.
Yeah.
Well,
no.
Not much.
Not much space. It didn't do much on that one, but it's smaller than it was. That's the way you've got to keep thinking this as an audiologist, because it's quite easy to get disheartened when you try to do wax removal and nothing's happening. But if you get a little bit off, stay positive, guys. It's getting smaller. You've got less wax to get out. Look at that. I'm an ear half empty kind of guy rather than an ear half full. The opposite glass half empty. That's what I see. So it's coming right. There we go. Let's get this. Oh, this is another thick. This was the anchor point. This was the bit that was holding everything else in. So this thick ribbon or kind of barrier of skin around that outside edge, and that's the bit that was just really anchoring it all into place. I need something to move.
Yeah.
That skin needs, if I can get the skin out, then the rest will come. Now it's starting to go. You can see this kind of downward movement I'm making all the time. It's just pulling the skin down.
Yeah, it's like a stretchy kind of material as well. That skin. It's can be a good thing because you can bundle it. Oh, there we go. Look.
There we go.
That's what we were waiting for at the start.
Look at that kind of like mini ribbon of skin there. And then we've got another section of skin here. You can see it's skin because it's got this kind of concertinaed ripple effect all the way through it. A lot of water analogies in this one today. With surf, crests, water, ripples.
There we go. I love the water as well.
Yeah, I like the water. Yeah, I do.
Used to do some surfing when I was younger.
Do you? I used to do surfing. I'm not very good at it, but I used to do it.
Yeah, I could stand up, but that was about it.
Well, you did better than me then.
I wasn't going anywhere.
My surfing mostly involves me being like,
Help.
flying in the water. Oh, it's nearly there.
God, that was a tough one, wasn't it? Gosh. Oh, there it comes.
There we go. There we go. Now we're getting there. And your patient was very, very relieved.
Oh, I can imagine.
Until I saw this. And I was like, oh, please. No. Just because the patient was a little bit flinchy with sound. So I was going, look, this is going to be a little bit more noisy. I'll put the smaller tube on. I thought, oh, I've had to fight everything in this ear canal to get it out.
Oh.
And that's what you wanted to see. That last bit. I think the gods are smiling on us at this point because that last bit came away. What I really expected that to be attached in a recess and things like that. I left that last little bit there, guys, because I just thought it was so fringy. And it looked a little bit irritated, so I was going to leave it there. Inch and a half.
Just under 3.5 centimeters there.
Well, guys, thank you very much for watching our earwax video again today. If you do enjoy the videos, please like, heart, share, follow, and subscribe. It does make a difference to the channel if you do that as well. So if you don't mind doing that, that would be fantastic. But as always, guys, take care of yourselves.
Take care of your ears.
And take care of one another. And myself and the lovely Mr. Taylor Green. We'll see you for the next video. Members, we shall see you tomorrow.
Hey.